Jump in the back of the pickup truck and join us for a ride back to the good old days.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
A nostalgic podcast based on entertainment and memories from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. Come with us and revisit the best time ever. So jump on your BMX bike, pop a heavy metal tape into your Walkman, and hang on tight while you go back to the past with us.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Hey, hey, hey!
Yeah,
It's time and I'm gonna sing a song for you.
And Bill's gonna show you a thing or two.
We'll
Not
have
nowadays.
a good time. Me and all the gang
Learning from each other while we do our thing.
Nah, 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 gonna have a good time.
Hey, hey, hey!
Nah, 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 gonna have a good time.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Pastimes at 80s High, the cast that takes you back. And this is our 75th episode, boys. And of course, as always, the boys are here. Hello, Donald.
Hey, what's up?
Hello, Isol. Brother Mark.
Hey, guys.
Hello, and Kevin.
Hello.
Hello. So very exciting. We're doing episode 75, and we are recording on the semi-quincentennial. So happy 4th of July, everyone. I hope I said that right.
That's right. That's right. The greatest country that ever existed.
It's a big word. It's a big word. But anyway, yeah, happy 4th of July, everyone out there. Be safe. Don't blow your hands off. And yeah, so what we're going to do is we are going to do an all favorite, hodgepodge, mishmash, potpourri, if you will. It's a fan favorite, and we like mixing things up. But first, we always got to do our shout outs, of course, Kevin.
All right, AJ. Today, we welcome our friends in Sparks, Nevada, Lancaster, Texas, Boulder, Colorado, and Darlington. I'm imagining is that Indiana? Darlington?
Perhaps. All the
Not
states,
positive.
though, this time, huh?
But
we got the West.
welcome all.
Yeah.
The West is coming in. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. We thank you all for listening.
We love all our friends.
Indeed, we do. And as always, one thing I did want to say is we are going to try to throw some clips in throughout for previous episodes, just to some of our highlights, if you will.
Right. But I'm going to start you guys right off and break the ice with a Ricky. It's okay, honey. I know I'm fat. All right, rolling on with our buddy Ricky here, Reverend Rick. No wonder I was sick. I had a belly full of puke. If Rick had to wait for his beer, he'd say, well, this would be a hell of a place to open a bar. So Ricky was the one that introduced me to the old saying that if you're looking for sympathy, you can find it between shit and syphilis in the dictionary. And I've got some more Rick for you.
Nice.
Ricky. See my girlfriend, isn't she beautiful? I've seen better heads of cabbage. Your breath would knock a buzzard off a shit wagon.
Yes.
But this one's my absolute favorite. I'm sure it has some other etymology, but I got it from Ricky, and it's, she's so dumb, she couldn't pour piss out of a boot if the directions were on the heel.
We'll pick some favorites and toss those in, but we always get going right out of the gate. So just to give you an idea where we're going with this 75th episode of ours today, we're kind of taking our 50-year-old self and our 7-year-old self to make a 75 out of it. So what advice would we give our 7-year-old self when we're 50? And what would we ask our 50-year-old self when we were 7? And we put all the ages in between there as well, just to go back in time. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll see where it takes us. And Dongo's going to have the honors today. And our first category in this hodgepodge is going to be, what concert or act would you tell yourself not to miss? Or what show should you not bother going to, or perhaps both?
All right. I think I will try to slide in both.
Yes.
Why not, right?
So the one that I would tell myself not to miss would have been the Alice Cooper concert that we went to. One that we got pulled over on the side of the road, and I had beers stashed in my jacket and got away with them and all that stuff. But then I partook in a little of the, the lettuce, the devil's lettuce.
The Mary Joanna.
Yeah. And I got so baked. Like I'm one who just like wants to go to bed. Like I wanted to, like I was sitting in the chair, like with my head in my hands, like wanting to sleep. And I remember VJ like, dude, you got to check this out. This is awesome. And like, he's like screaming at the special effects and the fans are going crazy. And I'm like,
snoring and paranoid.
Basically, you missed it because you were out of it.
Right. So I would tell myself, don't, because I never really, to be completely frank, I never liked weed. It didn't settle with me very well at all, but I just would do it because everybody else was doing it, kind of thing. So,
everyone's doing it.
Well, there's this girl on my block. Every time I see her, she asks me to get high. And every time I tell her that I'm not into that, she says all the kids are doing it. If that's true, then why doesn't she find someone else to do it with?
So I would just say, don't do that. And have a couple beers and enjoy the show,
Yes, indeed.
Right? Yeah.
That's about 40 or 50 concerts for me.
And then the one I would miss was the Rolling Stones. I don't know if it was a comeback tour. It probably was a comeback tour of some kind. It was in 1994, and I saw them in the Seattle Superdome, which I don't know what the seating capacity of that venue was, but it was like 70,000 people or something like that. And we were stages on the far end. I'm as far up and back as you could be, felt like I was a half a mile away, not enjoyable whatsoever. Just a large venue of people listening to the Stones, who I like the Stones, but I'm not a big Stones fan. And there wasn't anything special about it for me. So,
hey,
yeah.
You like what you like.
So big shows like that, I'm out. I think we were talking earlier before the cast about the decline of big concerts and stuff like that. And that kind of was maybe the start of it for me.
Yes. A huge decline. Like, that was a perfect video just to explain what Dongo's talking about there. Just how music today is it's all pre-planned on a laptop, and there's no more live without a net aspect, and it's too friggin' bad. It really is.
Yeah.
It sickens me.
I'll actually post that rant that guy did to the Facebook group because I think it's worthwhile. I will say there are still musicians out there playing live music.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not the big venues. It's not those shows like that. Mm-hmm. And the way he describes it, you should check it out, because the way he describes it is like it wasn't planned. It just, we're going to make the lighting a little better. We're going to make this a little better. We're going to make that. And before you're done, what does he say? It's like watching somebody bag groceries.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
that
clapping
was awesome.
when they fill a bag. Right, I mean, he hits it right on the head.
Yeah.
So check that out. I'll put it up on the page.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah. And just one more thing on that is with YouTube nowadays, you don't want to, some people want to see what's happening. Some people don't want to ruin the surprise, but if you just watch half a song, you can pretty much tell if they're doing it live or not. And you can make your decision if you're going to purchase that ticket that way. We vote with our wallet, people.
That's right.
Right. Awesome, Dongo. And that's to you, Kevin.
All right. Well, I'm going to start with doing two things. So, Donnie, talking about the Alice Cooper concert, I had a similar experience at an AC/DC show back in the day before it was legalized. You would go through droughts with the marijuana. And usually when that happened, they would bring down hash from Canada to fill the shelves.
Void.
But that, I don't know what it was about that, but it always destroyed my lungs and ruined me. But it was an AC/DC concert. I think Accept opened for him, and I think I was down front for Accept. And the hash was going around everywhere. So by the time the lights came on in between the two, I just remember looking up, obviously Cumberland County, and remember looking up to the right and somehow picking out my friends sitting down. And I went up, and there was no seat. I just sat on that nasty concrete, but I got there and sat down. And the second I sat down, I passed out.
Right in the stairwell.
On a stairwell at an AC/DC concert. But thankfully, I woke up when AC/DC came on.
Nice.
So that worked out okay. So Don, you talked about the Stones, and I think that was like either the Steel Wheelchairs tour or the Bridges to Babylon. And I saw it at, what was Foxborough? Was it Schaefer
Stadium? Yeah.
It ended up Foxborough Stadium when it closed in 01.
Right. But I was like, just like you, I was at the absolute back. I mean, I was on the left-hand side, but I could literally look over the aluminum wall.
Yeah.
All the way down. And it was, you're right, that was the beginning of the prefab performance. I wanted to see Keith Richards play guitar. He came out and they did a montage of their biggest 20 hits, one right into the other one, and it was all synchronized and meant nothing. And I was like, well, that was the only thing that was cool is they did Sympathy for the Devil. They did a little bit of a lead into it, filled up the whole stadium with dry ice and red lights. So you're like, okay, maybe Satan's going to pop out of the back here. So this could be cool. But so anyway, it's funny that you mentioned two things that I identified with. So I'll do mine real quick because there's a million people that I would have loved to have seen. And the one band that I would love to see is a band that I saw, but they were not on that night. The Grateful Dead was famous for having good nights and bad nights. I saw them, I think, at the Boston Garden on the 25th of September, like 91. Bruce Hornsby was playing keyboards with them. Welnick had just joined the band, and Brent Midland had just passed away. It's a dangerous job being keyboard player for the Grateful Dead.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not a long life expectancy.
It's like Spinal Tap drummers.
Exactly. Well, you can't dust for vomit, can you?
Fine. What happened to him? He died. He died in a bizarre gardening accident some years back.
It's really one of those things. It was, the authorities said, best leave it unsolved, really.
And he was replaced by
Stumpy Joe. Eric Childs.
And what happened to Stumpy Joe?
Well, it's not a very pleasant story, but
he's passed on.
He died. He choked on. The official explanation was he choked on vomit.
It's actually it was actually someone else's vomit. It's not.
Exactly.
There's no real.
Well, they can't prove whose vomit it was. They don't have facilities in Scotland Yard to print.
You can't really dust for vomit.
That they were not on that night. It was not a good night for them. It was the fifth night of a 6-night gig and indoor. And from everybody that I've talked to, the outdoor shows were the best. So if I could go back and see one band, it would be the Grateful Dead outdoors on a good night because, they're an interesting phenomenon because, they let everybody tape everything. So now, Bob Weir's been dead for a year. Jerry's been dead since 90-something, and they're still releasing people's tapes of concerts.
Oh, yeah.
And you can just hear all the different treatments and the way they approach different songs at different times. And it's just amazing to go out there. We were talking about, the pre-programmed Rolling Stone stuff. These guys were like, nobody knew how the song was going to go.
Oh, yeah. They never knew.
Yeah, all of a sudden a hard rockin' song was going to be bluegrass or reggae.
Mm-hmm.
They'd change it up completely in the middle of doing it. So they were the epitome of that in the moment making music. I just had the misfortune of the one time I saw them, it didn't go well.
They sucked.
Yeah. And places like the Garden and Fenway both suck for tailgating. They have concerts in those places and there's not a parking lot. There's like little gas station parking lots, like 50 of them, no major parking area,
Tailgate at the T, right?
Yeah.
Sullivan Station or whatever.
Right.
Oliver.
Yes. Oliver.
we parked under the bridge before that. Well, again, this is 91. So before the big suspension bridge was there,
Right.
We just parked under the bridge, jumped out of the car, and all the people I was with bought acid from some dirty hippie. And took like 3 hits apiece and went out of their fucking minds.
Right.
And I spent the whole night babysitting.
Oh, that does not sound fun.
Nah, it was not fun. Not fun.
Oh, man. And the show sucked to boot.
And the band was not on. So, yeah, don't bother on that one, but let's switch it for a different one.
Yes. Awesome, Kev. Yeah, definitely sounds like good misery there. All right. We're off to you, Brother Mark.
All right, I took a little different angle on this one. The concert that I have 2 ways on the concert I wish I would have gone to, or I'm glad I did go to, the Kiss reunion tour. I mean, if I ever missed that, I would have regretted it for my whole life. That was magical, spiritual. It was such a great time. We saw them 2 nights in a row. The band I would have loved to have seen but never did is Alice in Chains. But the concert that I regret going to has absolutely nothing to do with the acts. It has everything to do with my behavior that night.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we're talking the very early, well, this is 1991, June, I do believe. I was out of control. The early 90s, I was out of control. It was not a joy to be around. I will be the first to admit it. But I'm getting over a breakup at this time. So, yeah, it was Old Orchard Beach. It was Cinderella, one of my favorite bands of all time. I believe Extreme. And David Lee Roth was the headliner. And I had already seen him in Manchester. But anyway, so I'm drinking like an idiot back in these days. During the first half of Cinderella, I think, I'm sitting up there. I'm like, I don't really feel good. I'm going to go out to the car or whatever. And I decide to do that. And I said, okay, I guess I'll go back in now. And I didn't realize there was this thing, no re-entry. So I go up there and this freaking guy was, you can't come in. You can't come in. You're not supposed to come in because there's no re-entry, blah, blah, blah. So I go back to the car. I don't think I even went to the car at first, but then I decided, well, I'll just go in there and sit there and drink. And the doors are locked, of course. So I'm sitting there and some guy says, let's try to get back in. So I get to the gate and I sprint, and all of a sudden the same guy tackles me. And then I of course, you're going to jail, the guy says. And you know, I was really upset. I'm saying, you have a black heart, blah, blah, blah. Because I got a weak stomach now. I was just being an idiot. And so I get down there and I'm sitting behind bars. I'm like, what the fuck did I do? How am I going to get home? And, you know, then they say, well, your bail is $25. I look into my wallet, $21. So I'm like, what do I do now? I called Mom. She's yelling at them. And, of course, I'm being super nice to them at this point. And then, of course, I have to go to court. Mom and Dad go with me. I plead not guilty to both charges. I paid for the ticket. Oh, both charges. They charged me with assault, too, probably only because they will drop that if you accept the other one. Right. And I pleaded not guilty. Then I went back, and they take you up back, and you were told not to re-enter. You were told to leave. And I'm like, well, I had the ticket. Well, you were told to leave. And I never touched the guy. He says, well, we'll drop those charges. $100 fine, big friggin' deal. But that's
a miserable one, brother.
Oh, it was terrible. And I could have picked the one with when I was green in Worcester when I had food poisoning.
Oh, yeah, that was miserable.
Yeah, so there's been a couple, but as far as acts, I don't think I've ever been to a bad concert. I really don't.
Oh, so. Good. Lucky. You're lucky. I will tell you, Mark, that the re-entry thing is pretty much for every show on the planet.
I know that now. I haven't.
Because you could simply do what we did in Worcester and give somebody your stub so they can come to your seat. So you could simply hand that through the fence to somebody who's not in, and then they come in. You get it?
That makes sense. Yes.
You were charged with assault because the security guard tackled you. That happened to me once too.
And I got this thing, and it's all, you're not allowed to contact this person. I'm like, I wouldn't know him if I, I mean, I was
restraining order on Ed, the security guard.
Yeah.
But,
Exactly.
So anyway, at the end of the story is David and Moulton decided it's probably a good idea to stop at the police station, and sure enough, they did. Thank God. But
my
anyway.
God,
Where's your brother? I don't know. Let's check the police station.
Yeah.
That's pretty good call in our family.
Yeah. Right.
The only time I've ever been arrested. I'm going to keep it that way.
Yeah, that a boy.
Because I'm going to go on a little bit of a heater here. The song is Sweet Caroline.
Is this a hate or love?
Hate.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind the song, but I mean, you hear it all the time in the 8th inning at Fenway Park. When real fans like me, normal fans, real ones that bang their head in the wall.
Take a deep breath.
Okay, we'll go to football for a minute. I went to Buffalo. The Patriots made a stupid play going into half. There was with Valerie, and I slammed my head against the wall. That is what normal, real fans do. Normal fans, when Rich Gedman hits a ball that's clearly inside the foul pole in Kansas City, and they call it a foul ball, and Big Al ends up finally saying, I've had enough. I can't deal with this anymore. You're too insane when it comes to, passion in your games. Yeah. And the bottom line is because I'm a real fan, and that's what real fans do. They act insane.
Awesome. All righty. Great ones. And we're to me, and I'll be pretty brief on mine. I had a million here. I was going to say, any Kiss and makeup concert, prior to them taking the makeup off. Got to tie it. But that's not what I'm going with. I'm actually going with another Kiss concert. Got to tie it to Kiss. That's going to be July 25th, 1980 at the Palladium in New York City. This is Eric Carr's first show, which is technically a makeup show, but, not with Peter Criss.
Hello, Australia. This is Gene Simmons of KISS, and I'd like to introduce you to
Paul Stanley of KISS, who wants to introduce you to Ace Bailey of KISS. What's the name of the new drummer?
All right, I think his name is, his name is,
Hey,
oh, wait a minute, I remember. His name is Eric Carr, and he's incredible.
Okay.
Now get out of here.
It's just a very sought-after show for Kiss fans, and his first show, Eddie Trunk talks about it all the time because he was there, and you go in and you see this big drum set with a double kick drum, and then this dude, the Fox, comes out, and he was just fucking instantly embraced and loved, and to be at that show, not only that, but I believe it's the Unmasked. It was for Unmasked, which I don't even believe they toured in the States, but don't quote me on that. But
Australia was the big one on that.
Right. But they did Is That You? And You're All That I Want. And one thing that I thought was great about it is they closed, the fake encore when they pretend the show is ending. They closed that with Rock and Roll All Night. Yeah, exactly. With Rock and Roll All Night, and then they end the show for the night, the encore, with Black Diamond. One of my favorite Kiss songs of all time, and Eric Carr singing. So it just must have been a super highlight. And they call that kind of an underplay where it's a smaller venue. They're not at an arena or anything, which probably because they couldn't even, fill an eighth of the seats at that point in their career. But that's something that I really wish I was at. And then I'm going to do a hatred as well. And this is at the Cumberland County Civic Center. God, I wrote it down here. February 27th, 1992. And it was the Wherever We May Roam tour from Metallica. And believe it or not, I love Metallica, but this show was so long. And first you had, Kevin, your favorite person, Idiot Lars, is on the screen, call him on the screen and, talking with his annoying fucking voice. And they've only played the Cumberland County Civic Center in Portland, Maine 2 times. I was really surprised, and that's because it's a smaller venue. They just, probably never went back because they'd have to play like 8 nights there. But, I mean, I've seen them countless times, and I always love them, and this show was just brutal. It was boring as fuck. Dongo, I was there with Todd. It was just Todd and I, and we had decent seats. We were up on the side. Same thing. We got pretty baked, and then we're just staring at this. I don't know. It was just, I've never seen Metallica be boring, and they were boring as hell. We left.
Wow.
We actually walked out probably, 2/3 into the show. We friggin', let's go get
When you say boring, what
let's go get.
Were they tired or something?
I couldn't tell you, Mark. It was just friggin', we were miserable and wanted Burger King. So we left. Yeah, it was not exciting at all. I don't know if they were off, if they weren't loud enough. I can't recall why, but I just know that we were both miserable, and I would never be miserable at a Metallica show. So
they had a bad night.
Exactly. A bad night.
You gotta think. I mean, think about your life. Are you 100% every day?
Right. Exactly. Of course.
And to come out and entertain, doing 300 something shows a year on the, you know what I mean? They'd been touring since what? 80?
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah.
Somewhere
Early
in that
80s.
era.
Early 80s. For kill 'em.
So,
Other than Christ himself, there's only one person that walked the earth that was perfect every day.
Can I guess his name?
Yes, please.
Is it Mark White?
No, Kurt Hennig, for God's sake.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Perfect. That was stupid of me.
Everything he did, AJ.
Yep, bowled a 300 every game. And that's Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. He was inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Every time you bring his name up, I get so humble. I don't know what to say.
I mean, to golf in 18 every outing, to, bowl a 300 every time, just home run every at bat, just
without a flaw, without a blemish, from top to bottom, everything that I have ever done has been absolutely perfect.
He was
I
just
did watch that one.
the perfect man. Yep.
Golfed in 18. Yes, check out our WWF Heels episode.
Oh,
it's one of the early ones.
That's a fun one.
Was he related to Doug Henning?
Ooh, good question. I do not
Larry
know.
Hennig, I think, was his dad, the wrestler. But anyway.
No, the magician.
Oh,
remember the magician in the 70s with the big? It's an illusion.
Oh yeah, I don't believe he is.
I'm guessing no.
All right, that wraps that category up, and we're gonna go to Dongo for number 6, which is what moment from your youth would you like to witness just to laugh at your dumbass?
That was hard for me because it would probably be all of it,
Countless.
Yeah, well.
There was immensely, dumbness to my upbringing. But I would pick right before I moved to New Hampshire. I'm in like the 5th, 6th, 7th-ish grade, and in East Bridgewater, Massachusetts, which is right next to Brockton, Mass. The Chess King was big back then.
Tokyo Sportswear. Experience it at a Chess King store near you.
and wearing like parachute pants and Cavaricis and just awful states of dress and hairstyles and wearing like checkered shoes and just Vans and just looking like an idiot, and going to dances and being a complete idiot. I would just laugh at myself back then.
In your Z Cavaricis with your belt under your chest.
Right. All right. So my dumb thing is also probably one of the most funniest things that I remember from my childhood, like the funniest thing I can recall. And I remember the first time I did it and then subsequent multiple times doing it after. And that was lighting farts on fire.
Batmobiles.
Like the first time I ever saw it happen, it was like, oh my God, it's true. Like, it was one of those myths that you didn't believe it. And then you saw it. And it was like, I never laughed as hard as I did in my life. But I remember in Hinsdale.
Time out.
We did it with.
I'm cutting you off, Donald. Don't use names here because I don't want to embarrass our friend.
I won't embarrass any friends, but a friend may have singed eyebrows.
Oh, he definitely did. It was literally like the real Batmobile shooting flames.
We called it the Batmobile because that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
A full afterburner of an F-14, and
now
the question is, doing that
I gotta cut.
Why the hell was his face that close to your
I gotta tell you. I gotta tell this story. All right,
What, Kevin?
now we have
Shit,
It's a legitimate question.
we
Yes,
have
it is.
3 13-year-old boys, great friends, hanging out, and we're laughing our ass off about this because we heard the rumor. So rather than trying to do it yourself, somebody would get on their hands and knees, and the other person would go behind them with a lighter and flick it on. And, full arm's length. That's how bad this was. Full arm's length.
Maybe that's why they call it gas.
And Donnie fucking lights it up. And our good buddy, who shall not be named, rips one and fucking singes Donnie's eyebrows.
It was you?
It was
Oh
the
my God.
funniest, scariest thing ever. But just to witness
That's dumb.
That's dumb.
That's
Yes, it was
dumb.
that is dumb. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure we would all be laughing at you and ourselves with that dress.
Yeah.
Hell, I wore spandex out at night. Yeah, exactly. So bad. Awesome, Don. All right, Kevin.
So I tried to think of like some of the funniest, and this one was it must have been hilarious to witness. It was not funny for me, but it must have been hilarious. So I've talked about some of the parties we had at my buddy's house, his mom buying us beer and the cops coming and all that. Well, this one was later down the road. This was probably, I don't know if it was probably junior year. And it was a graduation party for the seniors. And who was the love interest in Say Anything? Ione Skye was the actress. What was the character name?
I can't remember.
I
was
don't know, but
thinking of
anything
Better
we
Off
say
Dead.
wouldn't be wrong because you said say anything. So
Well, yeah, exactly.
Skye's character in Say Anything was Diane Court.
Diane Court, right? Because they kept saying that. I can't believe Dobler's going out with Diane Court. But this girl was literally her. I mean, not looks. She was drop dead gorgeous. But she was one of those girls that was so pretty that nobody, all through her high school career, nobody dared ask her out because they all just assumed that she had a boyfriend.
She must be somebody's baby. All the guys on the corner stand back and let her walk on by. She's got to be somebody's baby. She must be
So she was my Diane Court. And
or she was a bitch.
She wasn't. She was sweet. So I start talking to her and she's like, oh, why are you talking to me now? You should have talked to me before. I'm going off to college in a couple of weeks and the gears are turning and whatever else. So this is going well, right? You know, we're having this conversation. Yeah. My night is looking to improve greatly. Next thing I know, my ass is in a truck tire, and she's standing over me. Are you all right?
Oh, no.
And I was like, what happened? I didn't find out till later. My buddy Ronnie came up and he went to punch another friend of ours on the shoulder. Now, Ronnie was pretty hammered at this time. So he throws this big roundhouse punch.
Oh, no.
Misses our buddy's shoulder and connects with my jaw square. So I literally came up. I'm right in the middle of talking to this beautiful woman, and he just knocks me right up into the air, unconscious in a tire.
Whoa!
And I lost all my mojo. And so instead of hooking up with Brian Johnson from Breakfast Club, she ended up going with Bender that night, and I missed out.
Oh, what a bummer, man.
I always appreciated that, Ronnie.
Awesome. All right, Brother Mark.
Okay, well, back in the day, I'm talking about in Littleton, I would, when I was a little kid, fourth, fifth, sixth grade, blah, blah, blah. I was obsessed with snow. I hated it. I despised it.
Yes,
and
we know this.
I could go any possible way. I might just give a couple anecdotes. I was just so weird. But I would call people and ask them how much snow they had. I would call people in different towns. Literally. I called somebody up in Pittsburgh. Hi, could you tell me how much snow you have? Oh, I don't know, about 10 or 12 inches. Okay, thank you. And then I called somebody in Woodsville, and they're like, well, there's a little ice on the ground. I mean, we don't have much. And they're probably like, what the hell is wrong with this kid?
Were you just picking random numbers? Or?
Random phone numbers, long distance. I used to call weather phones all over northern New Hampshire to get the forecast. Rang up a $56 bill from my mother. This is in the 1970s.
Hello, can I help you?
Hello?
Yes,
I'm calling about the phobia. I have a phobia.
Uh-huh.
Can I speak to you about it?
Well, is it that you wanted to make an appointment?
Oh, it's funny because I'm afraid, and I just wanted to talk to somebody about that.
Well, we don't have a hotline.
Pardon me?
We don't have a hotline.
Well, what are you doing there? Can I speak to you about my phobia?
Well, I'm a secretary here.
But maybe you could just help me along a little. Maybe. You never know.
Right.
You never know.
What's your name?
Oh, my name is Saul Rosenberg.
253-7800 is Weather Watch. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, but that was not long distance. But I was calling Berlin and whatever. I even called like Mittersill. They would give a weather report. And I hated snow so much. There was like this metal awning or whatever at Coreywood. I call it Coreywood instead of Collinwood.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, if you went under it, there was grass, no matter how much snow you had on the ground. And I would go under there and lie down, and just so I could lie down on the grass. And
my dear Lord.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if you believe in past lives. Something happened. Something's not right up there.
We know that, but I was going to ask, if something happened, because the hatred is there and so true. And to the point where I've seen Mark out on the yard with the hose melting the last patch of snow.
I mean, and then it was even that, like, if I felt it was too warm, if you were wearing clothes that were inappropriate, even if it was appropriate. Mark Anderson came into the house in Littleton, and he was wearing a snowsuit, and it was probably 5 degrees out, and I punched him in the face. And it's like, what is the matter with me? I threw Fred and Kevin out because it was 60 degrees, and their mother put them in a parka. That was unacceptable to me, so I threw them out, my best friends.
Oh, my God.
And then, of course, I did sit in a car when it was hot to sweat, but that's kind of a different deal there. I mean, most people do that if they can't sweat in their tent and their friends can. But anyway.
Poor man's sauna, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I just I thought it looked so cool to see sweat on you. But
funny.
All right, so I think we know that there's something not right there, but hey, I wear it with pride.
We're going to have a therapy session down the road. Too funny. All right. That's to me. And this one, like you, Kevin, was not so funny to me, but I'd like to witness the whole, happening of it. I actually spoke about this at my father's funeral. It's the second time I broke my leg. This time it wasn't your fault,
you
Mark.
mention that one. Thank you.
Yep. The second time I broke my leg, we had recently moved to Guilford, and my father took me skiing for the first time to Gunstock. We get off the chairlift and ski around, and he holds me between his skis, and we start going down the mountain. This is Pistol. I'll never forget the trail either. But he says to me, "Ready, son?" And I just looked at him like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he just shoved me. I went down the hill alone and did not know how to ski in one iota.
Yeah, it is the only way. Chinese downhill.
What the fuck is a Chinese downhill?
Whatsoever, and just roll, smash, bam, crack. Broke my fucking leg.
Oh boy.
And
oh god.
But that's not the reason this is funny to me. The reason
well, you're not
is,
laughing at yourself, but yeah. Well, kind of, yeah.
This is the reason it makes me laugh. My dear old dad carries me in his arms, skis me to the bottom of the mountain to ski patrol. They strap me into the orange sled to cart me off to the ambulance. And my dad bends over, kisses me on the forehead, and says, "I'm just going to take one more run, son." and then he fucking does. And when he's at the top of the mountain, he says he sees the ambulance take off. He says his mother's going to kill me. Peggy's going to kill me, to be precise. And I wish I could witness that because it's hilarious to me now. But at that point, I don't imagine I found it that funny.
Probably not.
No. And
they would lock him up today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that man
probably.
just pushed his kid down the mountain, broke his leg, put him in the ambulance, and then went back for another fucking ski run.
Then kept skiing.
You would have grown up in foster care.
Yeah, unbelievable. Exactly.
And then they'd go to the house to see what the rest, to check everything out. And Mark would be out there with a hose, melting the snow, talking to people on the phone in Berlin.
Right.
So we're going to have to check this kid out, too.
There's something not right in this household.
No, something ain't quite right for these guys. Oh, my gosh.
All right.
A thing that when I moved to New Hampshire and met AJ,
yes,
we went out to play war, and it was more than just bang you're dead kind of stuff. Because I remember, like, you probably have PTSD over this event where you were on the other team and we captured you. And the guy had like a torture thing. He had like this electrical box that you crank up and it puts voltage. And I remember you flipped out.
I flipped out. You're damn right. No one's fucking
like
shocking
you were
me.
not going to have that
Wait
done
a second.
Like AJ put up a
Dr.
fight.
Mengele grow up down the street from you?
I never heard of this story.
Fucking playing war, and we captured him, and they were going to torture you.
I remember like it was
flipped out.
yesterday.
Oh my God, did you flip out?
I would have flipped out too.
Right?
Oh, I fought him off. They didn't get me.
Yeah. You
and
put
that
up
was
a
that.
fight, AJ. Yeah,
I
that was
forget his
impressive.
last name. but his name was Wes.
The guy was going to electrocute you? He's going to electrocute you?
And I had
Todd
no idea
Payne
why
was going
he
to
did
electrocute me.
Unreal.
Like, this guy just brought it out of the blue. Like, here we are just playing for fun, and he brings out this
It's like a sitcom episode. It's almost like a Seinfeld, something Kramer would have done.
And it's not like we had to get like, where's your base? Where's your camp or whatever, trying to get info out of you.
War Games, though it was called.
40 years later, which prison is he in? I mean, we know how this turns out,
I don't even
right?
remember who that guy was. He was the organizer of the event, but
it was Todd Payne.
Oh, okay.
Dongo.
You remember his name probably because that burned into your psyche.
Wow, Todd Payne.
He wore camo.
Says what he does. He does what he
often.
says. Oh my God!
Yeah, yeah. Sorry to bring that memory back, AJ.
That's number 5 to you, Dongo. And what we're going to do here is, what job would you tell yourself not to have taken, or which job should you have taken, or both yet again?
All right, so this one's bittersweet because I had just finished my career as a firefighter, paramedic. And during that time as a firefighter, paramedic, I became a paramedic. So I started off as just a firefighter. And you always have to be a firefighter and an EMT. And there's multiple levels of EMT. There's EMT basic. It used to be called intermediate. Now it's called advanced. And then there's paramedic. So I was the equivalent of an EMT advanced, which was back then was an intermediate. I was 7 years into my career, and I went to paramedic school, and it opened up doors for me. It was something I always wanted to do because I love to be Johnny and Roy and all that kind of stuff.
New tonight, an actor who starred on a groundbreaking medical drama in the 70s has died. Family members say Randolph Mantooth passed away at the age of 80 after a long illness. He appeared in the action show Emergency that was partially shot right here on the Universal Studios lot. The show is credited with expanding the use of paramedics as emergency responders across the county.
But looking back on it, with the extra money, the extra responsibility, the toll it takes on your soul and your mental health and all that kind of stuff, I probably would say, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. But yet, again, I had a lot of good experiences with it as well. But again, if I'm putting it on a scale and saying, was it good or bad? It was probably bad for me to become a paramedic.
Regret.
Yeah. So, but again, like, it's bittersweet. I could still do stuff with it if I want to, if I choose to go
and
back.
save someone's life, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, like he did in Washington State. Saw it on the news.
Yeah, that was before any of that. But
yeah.
But yeah, so that was that. And but again, I wouldn't trade my time in the fire service for anything. It was very rewarding.
Nice.
But I'm definitely looking forward to doing something different.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're tying those into one. And congratulations on your retirement, Donald.
Yes,
Dongo
is
now retired.
Yes.
Right.
Lucky
I hate
bastard.
using that word. I would just say like career
change.
Obligation was fulfilled.
Yeah.
Right. Because retirement sounds like very, old and finalized, but
And disrespectful
just-
to people that are going to be buried working. Anyway, so you're tying both of yours into the one, Dongo? Yes. All right. So do you, Kev.
All right. Dongo, I need 5 cc's of Ringer's lactate.
Yes, indeed.
yeah.
One for Roy DeSoto.
Yeah.
So this one is, I think this is both. I think if I'd done it, I'd be talking about how I wished I hadn't. But now, not having done it, I wonder if I should have. But this was about a year into becoming a single father, and a very famous restaurant had burnt down, and a very wealthy man had decided he was going to rebuild it. He purchased the name. They rebuilt this amazing facility. The son-in-law, his friend, and the contractor were all good friends of mine. So I was the first offer to be the GM of the place, and they had told me they were going to sell it to me, but I went home and took stock in it and thought that how am I going to be a single dad and give my son what he deserves and open a brand new high-end restaurant at the same time. So I declined it. I wonder now what would have happened if I had taken it. So I think that's the only one where I'd go back, the only job, because I don't know, when it comes to jobs, I think you learn something or you succeed.
Yep,
one or the
absolutely.
other, right? Any job you had is something that has built on an ability that I have today.
Of course.
Right. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's any jobs I regret. But that one, I always wonder how the path would have changed if I'd taken that gig.
Absolutely. We have a special guest today, and that is Sonny Pooney from the Growing Up Rock podcast.
That's Hollywood Pony to you, sir.
Oh, yeah, Sonny Hollywood Pooney, forgive me.
And I know we got karaoke people on this show.
Donnie, definitely.
Singing all the time. I'm going to tell you right now, Careless Whisper kills.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Take a woman with you and right. Women all around you after you sit.
Oh,
yep.
I'm going to
What
remember
is it again? Hairless
Careless Whisper. Careless Whisper. Wham.
Not hairless.
Oh.
Yeah,
wham,
we've used that in past
Hairless
casts.
Whisper. It's about my cat.
Wait a minute.
It's a Mexican.
Am I being
hairless.
set up here?
Too funny.
Awesome. Boy, to have a job you didn't regret. That's pretty good, Kevin.
And now, a short commercial break.
Welcome to Halftime at 80s High. Want to just get a little info out there for you folks, including our website, which is pastimes at 80shigh.com. And that is 80S for 80s, pastimes at 80shigh.com. Shoot us an email at pta80h@gmail.com, pta80h@gmail.com. Love the feedback you've been sending. We can't appreciate it more. Check us out on all the socials, including our new Facebook, which is Pastimes at 80s High. And then for interaction, Pastimers at 80s High. Find us on all the major podcast platforms, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And please remember that those 5-star reviews and the comments go a long way helping us move up that chain. So thank you so much. We couldn't appreciate it more.
Pop Rocks. Check. Stretch Armstrong. Check. The Bionic Man. Check. You've gone back in time. This is Pastimes at 80s High.
All right, brother.
All right. Well, full disclosure, I've been self-employed for nearly 30 years now, so I don't play well with others. But that being said, back in the one job, or possibly two, but one, when I worked at 9X Material Enterprises, material with an E.
Is this the phone book company?
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite jobs of all time.
Tired of busy signals?
Where's Mommy?
Next time, try the busy signal fix. Press *66. Repeat dialing. It dials for you for half an hour and rings you back when the other line's free. Try it now. No need to subscribe.
Hi, Mom. Could you hurry home? Oops. Jody really misses you.
*66, the busy signal fix from 9X. 75 cents per use plus cost of call.
There was a guy that trained me who hated my guts, especially after he went back to Manchester, and because he lived in Laconia, he loved it up there, and he wanted that job. Or maybe he didn't live up there. But anyway, he would treat me like shit when he would bring truckloads in, and he ended up getting a job, and they were laying me off. But they said you can come work down here if you want, and I said I'm gonna go to college and all that stuff, and. You know, it may have been a good career. And then the other one was just quickly at the post office. Uncle Dick down in Hinsdale came over and said, congratulations, and it was a janitor's job at the post office. And I don't want to say if I feel like I was above it or anything, but I had already done mail delivery and mail clerk stuff. And
Carl? What? Can I ask you a question? Sure.
How does one become a janitor?
You want to be a janitor?
No, I just want to know how one becomes a janitor, because Andrew here is very interested in pursuing a career in the custodial arts.
Oh, really? You guys think I'm just some untouchable peasant, sir? Peon, you know? Maybe so. But following a broom around after shitheads like you for the last 8 years, I've learned a couple of things. I looked through your letters, looked through your lockers. I listened to your conversations. You don't know that, but I do. I am the eyes and ears of this institution, my friends.
Yeah, I kind of regret that a little bit. I felt, what's the word? Just
you were miserable.
What's that?
You were miserable. Is that what
well, no, it just means that I thought I was above it or something, and I would have punched myself with that now. But anyway, the job that I regret taking is the very first job I ever took. It was at a place called Kingswood Campground in Piermont.
Yep.
Okay. Dad was saying, Mark, you work 6 hours a day. The rest of the day, there's a lake there. You can fish all day. There's all kinds of people, play games, sports, everything. You'll get $325 for working for 6 weeks. First thought, I can get a nice amplifier for my guitar. So I took it. So I go up there. 6 hours a day, my ass. 14 hours a day. 14 hours a day, working in a kitchen. And I had like a half a day off on Tuesday. So I was exhausted constantly. And of course, because of all my weather issues, they put me on some kind of drug. And I'm sitting there in a fog all the time. And I got to tell you, I was only there 3 weeks. It seemed like 3 years. And thank God I sucked at my job and I got fired. It's like 44 cents an hour it turned out to be.
Oh my
44 cents an hour. So I think I made like $129 for 3 weeks of work.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And I remember that. I remember you were
I was so
miserable.
relieved when I got fired. I cannot begin to tell you. I had no time
Why
off.
did you just quit?
I was 15 or 16 years old. I had no car. I had nothing. What am I going to do? So
find a job.
I was off at camp. So, yeah. I mean, there's a ton of jobs I've taken over the years that I regret taking. But this one, I mean, I have had some good ones. But the best one I ever had is the one I have now. So, self-employed.
Yeah, there you go.
You know?
Yes.
My boss is an asshole, but other than that, everything's great.
Yeah, I heard his employee sucks too. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem of being a business owner.
Too
Yeah.
funny.
Self-employed. My boss sucks, and my staff is terrible.
So anyway, I bought a. I think it was a crate amplifier when I got home. Crappy amplifier, but that's why I went there. All for music,
that.
I guess. So, anyway,
funny. All right. I'm tying mine into one as well. Favorite job I ever had was absolutely my first job. I think I was 11 years old when I started as a busboy at the Pier Restaurant in Weirs Beach, New Hampshire. It's a little bit of a tourist trap, summer area, arcades all around, lake. I loved it. I started as a busboy, wound up managing the place later. I've never had so much fun in my life over those years. Great friends. Dongo, you worked there with me, my buddy VJ, and many, many, many others. It was just a blast. You know, ride my motorcycle in when I was old enough, play video games before and after, jump in the lake, take a lake bath, and then go cruise chicks. It was just fun. But my regret of said job is that put me into the restaurant business, which is where I am now. I wish I never took that job. I wish I listened to my mom and did something with myself, because now I'm in the restaurant business and I don't love it. You know, I don't love it at all. God willing, someday we shall see. And speaking of KISS podcasts, one of my favorites is Podcast Rock City, which you can see at 7 p.m. on Sunday nights typically. And we have our first
appointment viewing. Sorry.
Appointment viewing, yes. And we have our first guest today, and that is Joe, the host of podcast Rock City. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Excellent.
Awesome. Really excited about this.
Before we get started, I want to go ahead and say, having to come up with a list of records from 1983 is the biggest load of shit I've had to deal with.
Yeah.
No
There's like
kidding.
80 different records that came out.
Yeah.
What
And
a
I
year.
don't know how you guys did 81 and 82.
And I'll leave it at that and go to you, Dongo, for number 4, which is a simple one. Could be long, but explain your perfect day as a youth.
Ute.
As a ute. All right. So my perfect day, and I was very fortunate when I was growing up that my parents had a summer home on Long Pond in East Freetown, Mass. And it was a cottage. We called it a cottage. It was, 4 walls, a roof. It had no shower, no real true plumbing. The water came from the lake.
Nope.
Knowing what I know now about like septic tanks and stuff, I guarantee it was just like a hole in the ground kind of thing, which is gross. Which is why when it gets hot, like it's been, there's bacteria plumes in all the lakes and all that stuff. It's because all the old camps around the lakes that just put their poo right into it, But anywho, but I was very fortunate to, wake up in the morning there, run downstairs, never wore shoes, basically a pair of shorts was all my clothing of the day, grab a bowl of Captain Crunch. And then from 9 o'clock till 8 o'clock at night, it was either swimming or playing in the beach and just, playing in the sun, and never wore sunblock,
Yeah.
Never got a sunburn. Yeah. I don't know how that ever worked, but
your diet wasn't consisted of all hydrogenated oils. That's
I don't
why.
know where my mother was. My mother was probably reading a book somewhere. I never saw her. It was literally just, outside running around. Very vivid memories of the cicadas, which I don't hear as much as I used to, but back then it was like summer. You knew it was summer when you heard that buzz sound. I never knew what the hell it was. I really didn't. I was like, what the hell is that noise? And then years later, the internet, it's like, oh, the cicadas or whatever. I had no idea about that shit. And then, we'd play till, it gets dark in the summertime around 9. So we'd be playing still outside and then go to bed. That was it. Just simple, just outdoor playing in bare feet and shorts and swimming and
no responsibilities.
Yeah. Not a care in the world. Yeah.
The
it was
joy
awesome.
of
And summer seemed like it lasted like a decade.
Oh, it did.
Man.
I swear to God. I mean, these kids now go to school like at August 25th. We always went the Wednesday after Labor Day.
Yeah.
And he actually got out earlier, like the 10th of June. So I don't understand how that works. But
It's a blink of an eye now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice. All right, Kev, that's off to you.
I rode my bike.
Indeed.
That's it.
That's all you're running with.
That's it. Honestly, you know what I didn't do? I didn't pay bills.
Yes.
I didn't have to cook meals.
Right.
I didn't have to fix plumbing. I didn't have to go to events that I didn't want to go to. I didn't have to pretend to like people that I didn't like. I got up in the morning. If I was lucky, I got a bowl of cereal. I went across the street to the school that was across the street from where I grew up, and I rode my bike from first thing in the morning until I had to be home for dinner and then back out again. And that was it. And that was the perfect day. Just riding my bike.
Yeah.
Nice and simple. Perfect. Mine's going to go a lot deeper, but it involves pretty much that as well. Last but not certainly least, we have a guest today, and that would be Mr. Kevin Shaw. How's it going, Kev?
Good, eh? How are you, buddy? There's so many reasons that I hated the Dolphins. One of the biggest ones was, well, of course, we couldn't beat them down in the Orange Bowl. Every time going down there it was a death trap. I mean, they lost all the time. It was a burial ground. Of course, we ended up beating them in the squish the fish game, but there was other reasons. I mean, I was jealous of the friggin' weather they had down there. The biggest reason was so many fucking people, especially in Guilford, rooted for the Dolphins. We're sitting here in New England, for God's sakes. It's like the Patriots didn't even exist. All these stupid Dolphin fans. And ever since I see that friggin' uniform, then you got the 72 Dolphins running around. You remember when the Patriots were going for the 19-0 season? We're not going to talk about that Super Bowl. Don Shula was on when they were playing the Ravens, and he's on there openly rooting for Baltimore, and so are the friggin' guys in the booth. Tony Kornheiser, or whatever, Cornhole, what stupid name that clown has. But I hate the Dolphins.
Mercury Morris.
Oh, God, Mercury Morris. No, I hated the fucking Dolphins.
Yeah. Fair.
Hated them.
Very fair. As a matter of fact, moving on to me, that was my audible. But
girls always thought they were so cute. Their uniforms, nice aqua.
It looked like a Howard Johnson's.
Awesome, Kev. All right, Brother Mark, to you.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of group a few things together to make the perfect day. Well, I'm going to wake up to Ray Hopkins mowing his lawn because I love the sound of a lawnmower. And it was an idyllic town, as we know. And Mom's going to cook me up some frozen waffles. I'm going to watch an episode of the Flintstones. I love the Stones. Can't believe they've been doing it all these years. Fred and Barney.
Yes.
Meet the Flintstones, they're the modern Stone Age family. From the town of Bedrock, they're a place right out of history.
So, yeah, the Flintstones, it was based on the Honeymooners, as we know. We talked about that during our sitcom episode.
Oh, you mean when Donnie took it illegally?
Yeah, no, that was illegal, damn it.
I fully apologize. I didn't get the memo. And I'm going to go find my friends, Freddie and Kevin and whoever. We're going to play a game of baseball on Hadley Street at his house. And, it's probably going to be Peter Belmore also. And I'm going to go home, have lunch. I mean, I don't know, fried bologna. Who knows what I'm going to get. Then I'm going up to the town pool. I'm going off the diving boards. I mean, one of the dumb things I did up there was I would do a belly flop and all that.
Oh.
Yeah, and... just swim all day and just have a blast and then come home, have supper, and then I'm going fishing. I'm going fishing up to the dam. I'm going to catch some brown trout, son of a bitch. Specifically was fishing up at Apthorpe Dam. It had all these nice holes. The fishing was always decent. You very rarely went up there and got skunked. I remember catching a big brown trout, dropping it in the water and going back in to grab it. Then he had this long wall down there that put you in a good fishing spot, and you had to go down this ladder, and it was awful. I was a little nervous about that, but I did it anyway. And I lost a brown trout. What is so funny?
Oh, Mark, the holes, the dropping of the brown trout. It was just
one time, I lost it. I had a snag,
so
and the sinker went and hit me right in the teeth. But...
that sucks.
Well,
Came straight back at you.
Right at my teeth. But anyway, get this one. Listen, this is my story. I get to talk. You guys. So anyway, I was up there fishing on the right side of the dam, and I cast down. I actually had almost a 15-inch brown on it, and it got caught in the brown trout in the brush.
For the record,
glad you guys
those of you that couldn't see, 3 of the 4 of us were trying not to laugh out loud, but
not
it
doing
was
well
to
at
no
it.
avail.
Yeah, it's your turn this week. Go home. We might go play hide and seek and everything. And me and
Dave, another Dave, was it Dave Henderson? We're going to go out and we're going to laugh our asses off because we'd always go to a fun spot where we would just sit there and laugh and be the first ones caught. And then I got to go home and go to bed. I mean, that would be a typical day. I'm probably going to go down and get a pistachio with Jimmy's or a chocolate with Jimmy's down at the Frosty Bar that has finally closed and became like a clam shack kind of place.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is. But, I mean, that's just kind of the day that I would have. And, you know, Mom would made Visden kofta or whatever, kofta, which would be rice and hamburger and stuff like that. And with green beans and lubia. It's just a typical day. Every day was awesome.
To be a
those
kid.
were the activities. I mean, sports, swimming, fishing, and of course, riding my Bluebeard bike, going down Brook Road.
Update on the 1972 Huffy Dragster. It's a Bluebeard model.
Children's Bargain Town for Huffy boys or girls 20-inch dragster. Bargain Town's low everyday price, $28.87. Toys R Us. Bargain Town.
Going over the handlebars and having Fred and Kevin laugh at me again. So
awesome. All right. My day is pretty similar. Just like you said, Kev, it's going to involve the bike pretty much for everything. But up early for the trough of Cocoa Puffs and watching cartoons. And then I would go out to BB gun hunt. I don't know, it kind of bothers me nowadays when I think about it, but we'd go bird hunting. We'd have a point system for the birds we got.
Yeah.
We'd do that, and then I'd jump on the bike, and I'd ride to Guilford Beach. And mind you, as I've said in the past, this is when I'm a little kid. You know, we left home at like 7 years old and rode our bikes miles. So I'd go to Guilford Beach, hang out there all day, swim out to the raft, jump off the lifeguard chair when he was on break because it was like 8-10 feet tall. And then I'd have lunch at the shack there. Hopefully I could afford a hot dog or a burger from something money I pulled out from the pier. And then I'd head home for the evening. And Mom would make kibinai, which raw kibba, that's Lebanese out there, people. And then same thing, go out for the night and play Alcatraz, which was like a form of flashlight tag, or just whatever, go to a movie, go roller skating, whatever we did back then. Just like I think this category is aiming towards right now is we had no responsibility. No friggin' problems. Kevin, I loved the fact that you said I didn't have to pretend people, that I didn't like. It's so true. But then go home when my mom would yell my name after dark and after playing for hours, get ready for bed, watch some TV or listen to an album. And then here's what's really important to me about this day and what you said, Dongo. Go to bed with the window open with the night sounds. I can still feel that feeling, kind of like we talked about the Sunday morning feeling. It was very similar, just peaceful, crickets, whatever those fucking things you were talking about were.
Cicadas.
Yeah. Which I feel ignorant because I still don't know what they are.
Are those like the flying grasshoppers?
Yeah, it's like a grasshopper, but it makes a buzzing sound.
Yeah.
I used to think that was a snake.
It's a very unique sound.
I know what it is. I just never knew what it was called. But the night sounds were really important to me. Just peaceful. That ended the perfect day, and then you knew the next day you could just do it all over again.
We were golden.
Stay gold, pony boy. Stay gold.
Back in these days,
Stay gold, pony boy.
Yep. I remember how we were talking, AJ, how skinny we were, and it's like Kevin and I just basically said we ate a bowl of cereal and then we played for like 18 hours.
Exactly.
We probably came in for lunch, which was like a bologna sandwich or something, but that was about it.
I can't understand why I have a weight problem since now I eat for 18 hours.
I'd better not. I have what doctors call a little bit of a weight problem. I used to grab bear claws as a kid, 2 at a time, and I'd get them launched. right in this region here.
Physical activity.
Yeah, it's all the exact opposite now.
Yeah, yeah.
I work and I
That's funny.
eat, and then I have joy for 1 hour. All right, that's number 3 to you, Dongo. And that's going to be something stupid you did that you would slap the shit out of yourself for. And I know this could be endless for all of us, but one only.
There could have been a lot of slapping. Yeah. I did pick 3 instances, but it's one type of event. And it's just drinking. You know how they say liquor before beer, you're in the clear, and then beer before liquor, never sicker.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, 3 particular times I recall getting alcohol poisoning from drinking hard liquor and barfing my ever-living brains out.
Hey, what's your name, man? The dude wants to know your name, man. His name is Ralph, man.
Probably could have used an emergency room, but thank God I didn't die in my sleep or,
Absolutely.
I was, There was one at Seth Dudley's house. I think it was New Year's Eve. Once at Steve Sousa's house, and then once at Scott Menery's house. And I think tequila was involved in all 3. Shots. I think we were playing quarters with liquor. It's so stupid. Like binge drinking on itself is stupid, but doing it with liquor is even stupider, more stupid.
Yes. More stupid for sure.
So that
More
would be,
stupider.
I would slap myself in the head. Just don't do that. That's dumb.
That's dumb. And maybe
That's
don't
dumb.
drink tequila, Donald.
Yes.
Yes. All
A
right.
decision I made years ago.
Yeah, me too. All right. That's to you, Kev.
All right, so I think we all think back to when we stood up to our old man and when we should have, and that's what this is. Probably around 1985, I bought an Austin Healey 3000Z 1962. It was not a basket case, but it needed plenty of work.
The 1962 Austin Healey 3000 was a true icon of British motoring. When new, it was loved by enthusiasts for its performance and style. Today, it is even more desirable, prized by collectors and vintage racers for its timeless looks and unmistakable British charm.
Had it in the backyard. I was stripping it down as fast as I could, as a 15-year-old trying to get the thing put together. I think as it sat, it was probably back in 1985. It was probably worth about $35,000. I got it from a friend that wanted to see something good happen to it. I came home from school one day and there was a tow truck and my dad was paying somebody to have the car towed off because he got sick of looking at it.
Oh, God.
And so he and the guy of the tow truck is laughing his ass off because this asshole's paying him $75 to take a vehicle that was potentially worth, at one point they got up to $110,000.
Judas Priest.
And I just stood there. And if there was ever a time I should have fucking hauled off and knocked that asshole out, that was it.
Oh my God.
And I will regret that my whole life. I don't blame it on him. I blame it on me for not standing up for myself. So I would definitely backhand myself something wicked if I could go back to that moment.
Absolutely. Oh, man. Do you know whatever happened to that vehicle?
The guy that took it, I'm not going to say it, but I still remember his name. He had a junkyard and he had 2 or 3 of them. So I don't know if it got rebuilt or if it became a donor car or what, but no, I never saw it again.
Oh, misery. Yeah.
I know. They're out there though, and they've come down a little bit in price. So maybe someday
Right.
I'll get another one.
Jeez. Okay, Mark.
All right. Well, I'm going back to my childhood again, and I got this bad habit of shoplifting, and I was chronic. I mean, baseball cards, candy bars, and what finally got me caught maybe 2 years later. I'm not proud of this, you guys. I'm not proud of being a shoplifter. I regret it every single day of my life.
Like Winona Ryder.
Ms. Ryder, in this matter, is ordered to participate in a plan and or program approved by this court for drug counseling and psychological counseling.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm over at Corey's Market when Uncle Jim owned it,
Your own
And-
family store you're robbing?
Yes, absolutely. I'm so arrogant and filled with I'm so infallible. I'll never get caught. There was a little bucket of cherry bombs, I think they were called. And I picked it up, walked around, put it in my pocket. And as I'm walking out, he says, "Put it back." And I'm like, oh my God. Of course, I was told not to go back into the store. I didn't go in for 2 years. And I went and I was so guilty and so ashamed of myself. I just sat in bed like, what have I done? And chronically, I don't remember who taught me how to do it, but I would have pile drove myself like Mr. Wonderful would do.
Oh no, it could be the pile driver. It could be the pile driver. It could be the pile driver. He's out. He's out.
As he should have.
Yeah. So not proud of it.
That's how we learn.
That's how we learn, right?
Yep.
All right. That's off to me then. And I know that I was planning on trying to keep this a bit uplifting, and I had about 1,000 things for this category, but I'm going with this because it eats at me to this day. And I wouldn't just slap myself. I would punch myself, kick myself, and knock myself silly. All right. And that was being a bully when I was a kid. From probably 3rd grade through 8th grade, maybe 7th through 7th grade, I was a fucking bully, and I hate myself for it. And when I say bully, it was not like it is today. It was rampant. There were so many people doing it, and I just hate myself for it so terribly now. I'm not going to throw any names out there, but there's literally still a few people that I'm trying to reach out to because of how awful I was. And it eats me alive to this day and on a daily basis, I'll say that. So there's my uplifting category of the day, but I would have knocked the fuck out of myself if I could.
You're just trying to find those people in case one of them is Steve Buscemi.
Hello? Hi, is this Danny McGrath? Yeah. The Danny McGrath that graduated from Nib High School in 1984? Yeah. Who's this? This is Billy Madison. You probably don't remember me, but I went to high school with you. I kind of gave you a hard time back then, and I did some things that I thought were funny at the time, but now I realize they were just mean and stupid, and just wanted to apologize, and I hope you forgive me.
Yeah, sure. Don't worry about it. It's no problem.
Wow, well, that's great. Well, I am sorry, and maybe we can get together sometime and have some coffee or something.
Sure, I'd like that.
Okay, well, I'll see you around.
Okay. Bye.
Writing with his lipstick.
AJ. Off the list.
Yeah, right.
I was going to mention that. That's one of the first things I thought of. But.
Yeah, but that is something, I was going lighter with it in the beginning, like thinking of funny things that I'd smack myself for, but that's something that I really would have beat the shit out of. I would still beat the shit out of myself. I do still beat the shit out of myself for it. So I'll leave it at that, and I'm going to go to you, Dongo, for number 2. And that's going to be, what would you tell yourself to learn more about?
Women. No.
Yeah, that's impossible.
Right. No, I love music, and I didn't give it as good of a shot as I should have, as far as like knuckling down and practicing and stuff. But I would have loved to have learned the piano at a young age. Like I learned guitar, but I think piano is a beautiful instrument, and it's kind of the basis for a lot of composing. And I do have a creative mind, and I think I would have been pretty good at composing songs.
Never too late, Dongo.
Excellent.
Excellent. All right, Kevin.
So along the same line, Donald, and I think it might be a theme, but never became any level of musician. But even with that, I look back and I always wanted to learn how to be an engineer, how to run the soundboard, how to master.
Mr. Q, mate, you do know the song, yeah? All right, well, we'll pick it up just coming out of the intro.
I'm sure there's like every community college has a class that leads you into that now. But back in the 80s, there was nowhere to go, especially if you were young and on your own and school wasn't an option. So I even tried because I knew a lot of musicians. I knew the guys that ran the soundboards. I knew the guys that were doing the recording. Unfortunately, they were all powdered at the time and were more concerned about,
more powder.
So they didn't, I couldn't get any help from there. But I think that I have an ear for music. I think I could have been very successful.
No question about that, Kevin.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and part of mine was like A&R rep. Like you to do the engineering. I would have liked to have been like an A&R guy, like a talent scout kind of thing.
Sorry, Kev, I didn't mean to ruin your mojo there.
Yeah, no, I think I think we would have been good in those positions, and I think, and that's the thing, looking back and like talking to my son, it isn't about being the greatest ever sound guy. It isn't about being, you know what I mean? Nobody just becomes it. You have to get into the circles where it's happening.
Right.
That's the key.
Yeah.
You can't just take an online course and become those things. Those are exceptional different positions. You know what I mean? You don't start at the factory and work your way up to A&R guy. You know what I mean?
It's a networking kind of thing. Yeah. You got to meet people and
Yeah, you have to immerse yourself into it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest lesson that I look back and would have told myself is surround yourself with what you love, because that's how you go somewhere with it, not staring at it from 50 cities away. Right.
Moss Eisley. Damn straight.
Yeah.
Awesome pick. Brother Mark, that's
all right. Well, mine's similar to Donnie's. I wish I would have picked up the guitar earlier. I wish I would have loved it more when I started playing back in the White Lightning days and everything.
A little tip from the Aster.
My biggest regret is that I basically put it down at early 20s until I started playing again. I believe it was 2015. And I would play here and there. I still had a guitar. I mean, once in a while, I'd even go through a spurt here and there. But I really regret that. I'm actually I could have been really good. I'm thinking pretty good now. But it bothers me that I didn't. I got too wrapped up in going to the gym and everything, and that was my life. And something else I wish I would have done earlier. But yeah, I wish I would have kept playing. And maybe when I was young enough, I could have been in a band, and all that stuff. And it's just something I didn't do. And I lost interest in it. And that's not going to happen anymore. So
awesome. Well, I'm glad I wrote two things down here because my first one was guitar. I'm gonna stray away from the music category here, and I'm gonna say a few things that I mean. One is like just history and physics and basically knowledge. Like I'm very intrigued by space and the universe. I mean, I've gained a lot of knowledge over the years through it, but I just wish it was something that I was intrigued with as a child, because who knows what doors it could have opened for me or anything whatsoever. Just the interest of it to me is fascinating. I mean, we think of the fucking Milky Way, and then, when Hubble and everything came out and found all these galaxies, just, there's more galaxies than stars in the Milky Way, and it's fucking incredible and so deep. And to learn about stuff like that, I know, Dongo, we've talked about quantum mechanics and things like that. It's really fascinating to me, and I wish I learned more about it, because who knows where it's going to lead and what we're going to find out in the future. And, something that scares me with that, we only live so long. and what are they going to figure out later? You know what I mean? To see what the knowledge we've gained in such a short time, it's astronomical. AI now,
No pun intended,
kills me.
Oh, yeah.
Right? AI is scary as fuck to me. I don't know. I want that aspect of shit gone. Bill Burr has a great skit on it. It's like, turn that fucking thing off. Pull out the batteries. You know?
Yeah.
The guy on 60 Minutes asked the robot, the AI robot, you know, what his goal was. And it said, to be smarter than humans. And it's like,
Oh my God.
right.
Did it really say that?
Yes.
These fucking things have goals? Yeah. And the reporter just blows by it. He's like, okay, and what's your favorite color? Meanwhile, I'm standing on my bed yelling at the TV like, dude, unplug that fucking thing. Take the batteries out. Pull the wires out. Do something. How many sci-fi movies do you have to see before you realize where this is going?
Fucking unplug it. Unplug
The
it.
scariest thing is when they put two of them together, and within seconds they made up their own language and started talking specifically so that the humans couldn't understand what they were talking about.
Yeah.
If there's ever a time to fucking rip the batteries out, you
Right,
chuck
right,
that 9-volt all the way across the room.
Well, yeah, you know, and we grew up with the Terminator and War Games and those kinds of movies where the AI always kind of went off on its own once it figured out, like, hey, humans are idiots, we got to destroy them, you know, and that's everyone's always fear, you know.
Right. I mean, I'm sure there's some incredible knowledge we're going to learn.
Well, you think about it,
you know, but
it knows everything that's ever been put on paper and uploaded to the internet. It knows it, you know. So
just
it's
put
like,
a fucking on and off switch on the thing.
Right,
That's
right,
all I'm
right.
asking.
But that's what I think people misunderstand is it's not artificial intelligence. It's a summation of our intelligence.
Yeah.
Right.
That it can process it faster than we can.
A billion.
But you know, all of those movies that you talked about, AJ, that's I just look at that shit as predictive programming. I mean, look at didn't Spielberg just come out with Disclosure? As we're getting close to the point where they're kind of talking about UAPs and
hence my category, my pick. How fucking interesting is that shit, right? So yeah, I'd want to learn that way better than I know it now. All right, we're heading off to number 1 here, boys, and that's to you, Dongo, and that is, what one piece of overall advice would you give yourself?
All right. So this one's tricky for me. I wrote down, don't care, just do.
No! Do.
What I mean by that is, like, my entire life, I always cared about what other people thought. And I always projected what I thought they thought. Like, oh, they think you're stupid. They think you're a loser. They think, and it's like, screw that.
So fuck. You know, sometimes you just gotta say fuck them.
Fuck 'em.
Don't listen to that voice that says that, and just do what you want to do, and ignore that voice. In the, you know, I don't hear voices like schizophrenia. I just hear a voice that's always like, oh, they're going to think you're stupid, or they're going to think that's dumb, or you're going to look like a fool. No, who cares? Just do it.
Do.
You know, play the song, go for the sports team, write the book, do whatever, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, just ignore that and do it.
That's damn
and
straight.
if you fail, you fail. And anybody who's ever been massively successful does that.
They've failed.
They do
plenty.
something, they fail, and they just keep doing it, and they just do it. So
failure is the first step to success.
I'm my own worst enemy. I've done amazing things in my life, but I probably could have done more.
Yes.
If I had just like got that out of my head, kind of thing.
Yeah, and you still need to get that shit out of your head, Dongo.
Right. I know.
We probably all do.
We all
absolutely.
do. Absolutely.
You know that-
fuck everyone else.
That voice in your head is not you. It's not you. It's all of the things that you fear.
Right.
Right. Yes. Well put, Dongo.
Yeah.
Well put. All right, Kev.
Relax, Francis. That's what I tell myself. So along the same lines of what Donnie's talking about, it's like, dude, don't sweat it. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. Just jump. Ask the girl to dance.
Right.
Yep.
Take that job. play the guitar, whatever. Just do it. Don't fucking think it to death. Just do it and don't get wound up about it. And like I just said, failure is the first step to success. Just, you got to fall.
Fucking
Just
right.
don't worry about it.
Right.
Go punch that bully right in the face.
That's right.
Yeah.
Damn it. And any of you homos call me Francis.
And I'll kill you.
Lighten up, Francis.
Nice, Kev. And both perfect right there. All right, Brother Mark.
Okay, well, my advice would be choose your friends wisely. Do not hang out with people that when you hang out with them, they make you feel like shit. I'm not talking about the regular ribbon like we all do with each other, good friends do. I'm talking about people that, for instance, are really nice to you when you're one-on-one, and then they get with a group, start treating you like shit to impress the others. You need to hang out with people that make you feel good about yourself. They don't have to be yes men. I'm not talking about, oh, you're great. Yeah. Yes, you're tall, Mark. You're very tall. You know what I mean? I know I'm not tall.
Like a midget at a urinal, I was going to have to stay on my toes.
But what I'm saying is, it is so important. I understand that we have family and you can't do anything about it. You go to school, you can't do anything about who's in your class and everything. But after that, or at your job, but outside of work, you want to hang around positive people. And I can tell you right now, there was a few years that I would want to hang out with myself, the early 90s, as I referenced in, I believe, my first pick. I mean, a lot of people didn't want to hang out with me, and I wouldn't have wanted to either. I was a drag on people.
Right.
And I'm not saying people get down. You may want to try to help your friend out and say, what's going on? What's really going on with you? Maybe we can get you out of this. Don't hang out with people that make you, that look down on you, that are condescending. Stay the fuck away from them.
Yep.
You hang out with people that love you no matter what.
That's right. So all three of you are really on the same baseline. If you think about it, fuck them all.
Sometimes you just gotta say fuck them.
Exactly.
All right.
Basically.
Okay. All right. So mine's going to be a little off center from the three of you guys, but I'm going to pay attention to Nancy Reagan here.
Say yes to your life. And when it comes to drugs and alcohol, just say no.
Oh, God.
Okay. And I'm going to make sure that I go back in time and tell myself to watch the This Is Your Brain on Drugs commercial with them cracking the egg.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what doing drugs does? Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
So I wouldn't have done drugs in my life, but I think that would have changed everything for me. So that's the piece of advice I would give myself. I had a bad run for a long time, and it fucking really discombobulates the brain, and I should have paid attention, and who knows what I would have succeeded during those years where I didn't give a shit because that's all I cared about. So that's why this is my fucking brain on drugs, and there's my yolk sizzling. Okay, so I'm paying attention to that shit, and that's what I'm telling myself, and I'll leave it at that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I've had a relationship with alcohol for sure. Used it as a drug. And I spoke about tonight, like, a couple instances where I had alcohol poisoning that could have killed me, that kind of stuff. So obviously, as adults, you can use a substance responsibly, and then that substance can get away from you. And that substance can be prescribed to you. It can be, it could be a prescription drug. It doesn't have to be alcohol, cannabis, whatever, you can abuse anything. You can abuse sugar. You can abuse sex, whatever, Yeah, everybody has their ebbs and flows as far as how you deal with stuff and how you get through it and how you navigate. That's an individual choice. I always had a hard time, like Trump, like he hasn't supposedly had any drugs whatsoever. I kind of have a hard time trusting somebody that hasn't, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You hadn't had a drink.
You need the experience. Right?
And
you
good,
can learn
good for
from your
them.
family
Like, good for
members,
someone
too.
who never has done anything in their life. That's great. But there's also a little bit of distrust in that because it's like, you know, everybody's got to experiment and figure shit out. And, you know, like, oh, that was stupid. I'm not doing that again.
I hate the fact that I was a functioning addict. You know what I mean? I would have rather gone off the rails and been told you need to fix it.
Bottom.
But people didn't even fucking know when I had kids. I'm like, I fucking can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I have to say about Nancy Reagan, I guess. But we'll leave it at that. Awesome episode, boys. I mean, what did I say before? Is it the semi-quincentennial? So we're going to go try to enjoy the 4th of July a bit here. But thank you so much out there for listening to 75 episodes of this, man. We love it. It's a blast. We look forward to 75 more. Can't thank you all enough. And, of course, the boys here, Dongo.
Good times.
Yes.
Don't blow
Kevin.
your fingers off, people.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Brother Mark.
Great episode, guys.
Yes. All right. Everyone out there, thank you again so much. And we are out. That knife couldn't cut the dick off a snowman.
I knew that one.
A pen could cut the dick off a snowman. Here I am explaining it again, which I'm done with. So off to you, Don.
I love AJ. I love how you had the personal ones because those were near and dear to me too. Your dad's quotes. And this is where I get a little sappy. And in the show, It's a Wonderful Life, at the very end, when he opens up the little card, it says, "No man is a failure who has friends." And that's why I like you guys. You know, you guys are my buds, you know.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Yeah. So
from this moment, as long as I live, I will love you. I promise you this, there is nothing I wouldn't give from this moment.
You've been listening to Pastimes at 80s High. Our passion is the nostalgia from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. When times were more simple, times were more fun.
Hey, bud, let's party.
And we weren't stuck in our phones all day.
Inconceivable!
We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, you can send an email to pastimes@80shigh@gmail.com and hit the website at pastimes@80shigh.com. See you next time.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.